In 2023, global e-commerce sales surpassed 5.8 trillion. That's trillion with a T. People are shopping online, and getting found online really has never been more important because those numbers are expected to rise to 8 trillion in 2027. So getting found online really has never been more important. Today we're going to talk all about that. What can you as a local small business do about improving your online presence? How can you ensure that you have a piece of that massive pie, of the $1 trillion pie, if you will? My name is Fope Nkwocha. I am the founder of Small and Thriving. I'm a small business marketing consultant and coach, and I help you connect to your customers wherever they may be. I have particular love for small businesses who have a stake in business. You have a local business that you're serving, a local audience. And today's presentation is really going to focus on how to help you get found online. What are some actionable strategies that you can implement to make sure that your audience finds you, you connect with them, and they shop from you and keep coming back? Let's get right into it. Take a quick guess. Can you guess how many consumers research online, even if they intend to buy in store, right? Do you think it's less than half of consumers or more than half of consumers? Have you guessed? Well, if you said over half, you're right, because 65% of consumers are more likely to research products online even if they intend to buy in store. So that means even if they want to come to the store to buy, they're still going online to check it out, to see photos of it, to read reviews, to understand what the price is, all of that. They're looking for information online. So if you're not putting in the work to make sure that you have a store, you have a Google business profile, you have a platform where people are able to, current customers are able to share feedback, then you're really missing out on a huge piece of this puzzle. Customers don't just have one touch point anymore. There are many touch points before they finally make a purchase. So the reason to be online is just glaring. Whether you have an in-person store, a physical store, or an online store, there are many reasons to improve your online presence. When it comes to marketing, all the work you're doing is to fill this pipeline, to help people become aware of you and your brand, what you offer, become interested in saying, okay, this person seems like they can solve my problem, and then make a decision. That decision only happens when you call them to action, because they could be aware of what you offer, but if you don't put an offer before them and say, hey, we have this going on, come into the store to buy, or click the link in my bio to order, they may never do anything. And then to actually ensure that you get them to the finish line, which is to make a sale. So the point of marketing is to ensure that this pipeline is well fed, right? There's people coming in, there's people at different stages, and people are moving through the different stages. So all that you're doing is to ensure that you're raising awareness about your brand, you're gaining qualified leads, and those leads turn into sale. But as a small business, you have such limited resources. Your time is limited, your budget is limited, even the resources, the human resources you have might be limited. So how can we ensure that your efforts are all tailored to a specific goal, and you can actually see the impact of your marketing, so you don't feel like you're just wasting money, right? And the money is just going down the drain. Today we're going to talk about getting specific with how to connect with your audience to make sure that all of this actually yields results. As we go today, I will be referring to a couple extra resources, and that's because we have a folder of bonus resources where you can get a list of helpful free marketing resources. Free because, again, we're trying to conserve those resources. Sometimes another bottleneck is, okay, I don't know what to create online. What do I say? What do I talk about? I have 100 free content ideas for you, and a whole lot more, including prompts that you can use to make this customized to yourself with the help of AI. So if you scan this code, you'll be taken to a quick form, and then you get a folder of resources. It's all free, and there's a couple of different things there. And if you struggle to scan it, you can also just go straight to the link down there. It's the Stratford bonus. So I wanted to make this easy for you to remember. And so everything we're going to cover today is under this word found. FOUND will be our way of remembering all the different tactics you can use to get found online. Pretty neat, eh? Okay, so what does the F stand for? The F stands for focus on a specific audience, right? How are you going to find a specific audience that you're targeting and reaching out to make sure that your marketing isn't just random and all over the place? Who exactly are you trying to reach? Then the O stands for optimize your online presence. What does that even mean? You probably heard the word search engine optimization a bazillion times, but what exactly is that, and what can you do to improve how you show up online. Then we have the U, which is use free promotional tools. The N, which is about nurturing your leads. So not everybody that comes through that funnel that we saw at the beginning will naturally move through it. So nurturing is the process of nudging them along, say, hey, move on. And you do that by offering good information to them, making an ask of them, capturing their email so that you have a way to continue to reach out to them. But there's also your existing customers. Sometimes we forget that our existing customers are people that have already found us and trust us, right? And so the first sale doesn't have to be the last sale. They can be people that help you find other customers, and people that keep coming back. If you are a little familiar with me, you've probably heard me talk about creating super fans, and you want your customers to become super fans. Okay, the final one is the D. So the D is double down on successes. So whatever is working already, you want to double down on it. So we're going to go into each of these a little bit more, but it's a great way for you to just have a snapshot of what we're talking about today. So that's the acronym FOUND. Let's get into the first one, F. F stands for focusing on a specific audience. So if you already have an existing business, then you're probably finding success with some customers already. Great. Let's double down on that. Who are these people that you're finding success with? Are you trying to get more of them so that you already have a type of people that are coming to you? If you happen to be a specialty grocery store and you sell maybe African foods, then you're targeting people that are of African origin, Caribbean origin, that are looking for specific foods, right? You already have found success with them. So can you find even more people like them? One simple exercise that you can do to get you clear on this is to start with 3 questions. Number 1 is, who do I serve? Right? Who exactly is it that I am serving? You know this by the actual people that have come and bought from you, or the ideal person that you think of when you had your business set up. Some people have workshops, and because of the nature of their products, they're expecting tourists, people who are coming from out of town. A town like Stratford is one that has lots of tourists visiting, and so it's important to make sure that whatever you're doing is geared towards people that might not be familiar with the audience, with your location, right? So you're doing everything to attract a specific segment of people. So who do I serve is the first question. Now, how do I help them? What exactly is it that I'm offering to them? So sticking with our workshop example, you are offering a form of entertainment during their visit, a way for them to bond with other people. So maybe they have a group that they're coming with, and so your workshop is, sure, maybe you are doing hand painted chocolates, or you're doing pottery, or you're making candles. All of these are just activities that people can do together. If I'm coming on a family vacation with my family and, we've seen sights, we've gone on walks, we've eaten, maybe we want to do something together. So you are serving them by providing an activity for bonding. You're providing a source of entertainment or something, right? Or maybe they're learning a new skill, and hobbies are kind of cool too. So really get clear on what it is you do for them. And if you're wondering, why is this important? All of this helps you get clear about what you say, right? When you get clear about who you're serving, what it is you do for them, it makes it easier to know what to say to them. And the third question is, how will someone's life be better or different because of what I'll share with them, right? Or what I offer them. Maybe it's not just sharing with information with them, maybe it's an actual product you offer them. All of this helps you to get your messaging right. And the quick exercise that I'll actually encourage you to do is to take out a sheet of paper, and on one side write now, and the other side write future. On the now side, this is an exercise that I learned from somebody I really admire, Stu McLaren. So he was watching this. Hi, Stu. On the now side, you have the current state of the person that you're serving. So with the workshop example, say you are serving a group of friends who are coming to town to celebrate a bridal shower, right? So they're in town for a specific purpose. The current state might be confused about how they're going to spend their time beyond, dancing and celebrating. And the future state might be, now they have a focus on an activity that they're going to do while they're there. The current state might be, not sure what all 8 bridesmaids can do together. The future state might be an activity that allows for multiple people to come together. So having that now and future side would allow you to go from generic posts on Instagram, generic messaging on your website, to being crystal clear about what it is, the transformation that the person is going to expect to get while working with you. So this is not something that only applies to service-based businesses or people that are doing workshops. If you sell a product too, you know what transformation that person has by working with you. So this just helps you get really clear on who you're serving. Something that I do, that I encourage you to do, is to listen where your ideal customers are already talking. Now, what does that mean? I'm a part of a number of Facebook groups for small businesses. And every day I'm seeing posts about people looking for help with their accounting, people looking for help with social media, all sorts of things. What being there does for me is that I can hear the exact language with which they're describing their problems. And so when I create content, I'm trying to mirror their voices back to them. What are some ways you can do this? You can listen to your real customers. What are they saying to you already that you can incorporate in your blog posts, in your podcast, in your newsletters, in your website copy, on your sales pages, to make sure that when the person lands on your page, they're like, oh my God, this is for me. This person really understood who I was when they created this. So focusing on a specific audience makes it more likely that your message is going to resonate. And I'm starting here because the clearer you are about who you're serving, the easier the rest of your marketing will be. So don't think this is an administrative task. It's super duper important, and it will help you move the needle forward with your messaging. Moving on to O. Remember that we're still sticking with our FOUND acronym. So we talked about F and now we're in O. O is about optimizing your online presence. In your online presence, we're going to start with your value proposition. What is it that you offer? And I decided to use an example of a local Stratford business, which is Chalk chocolate, fine chocolate. They offer this handmade, beautiful bonbons, and they, in everywhere, in their messaging, in their photography, you can see a huge focus on the quality. In their bio on Instagram, it's right there, handcrafted bonbons, edible art, and it tells you what to expect. It draws people in. It helps you know what exactly it is that they offer. So both in the reason why it costs whatever it costs, in the reason why they offer classes to help people learn how to make these beautiful pieces of art, in all of their online presence, you can really see what their value proposition is. And it's important to do this in your business. This is really key for local businesses because this helps you to stand out from the giant businesses that are able to mass produce 1,000 and have it at really cutthroat prices. The more you're able to emphasize why you stand out, maybe because you focus on a specific audience. If you're a nutritionist who is focusing on people that have PCOS, or you have, like this, you have a knack for edible art, or you are sustainability focused, whatever it is that your unique value proposition is, really make sure that you are bringing it through. If you feel like, oh my God, I'm a broken record, well, it means you've just started to get the message across, because people need to hear things multiple times before it really sticks in their minds. Okay, so really start by focusing on your value proposition. And why this is important in optimizing your online presence is because the more you say it, the more you repeat it on different surfaces, the more you become known for something online. Now, the second point is a bit more of a technical one, but it's also equally important. The second point under optimizing your online presence is to stay focused on a singular goal, right? So of the many, many things you could do to optimize your online presence, at least get the basics right. The basics look like showing up on Google. So you've probably heard of SEO, which is search engine optimization. It's about how well you rank on search pages. When you go search for something online, you probably don't skip to the third page to see what is there. And so you want to make sure that if you have good content, if you have relevant content, you are on the top of the page. So as an example, when I moved to Atwood, Ontario, which is a small town in the North Pet area, I wanted to join a gym. And even though it was a small town and I did drive around end to end, I didn't really see a gym, but I was like, there has to be a gym here. The first thing I did was to Google it, right? And on Googling, I found the business profile of a number of gyms, and that was how I decided to go check a few out. If you don't have a business profile, you're missing out on a lot of business, because people are searching for places. They want to see photos of where they're going. They want to read reviews from other people. And if, like me, they've driven around and haven't seen anything, they're going to resort to going online. So make sure that you have your Google business profile listed, and it's updated as well with your hours, your location, if you're closed, all of that good stuff. The second point is building a website. The third one is connecting with customers on social media. I have 3 things listed here as like basic things, but the overarching thing is stay focused on a few singular goals and objectives. There are a lot of things you could be doing online. And everybody that has been in business for a while knows that it feels like every day another guru is telling you to do something else, and it can feel confusing. Starting with these basics is a good place. And then if you want to build on it, pick one or two things in every season. Don't try to do everything at once. Don't be trying to build an email list at the same time as trying to optimize your mobile experience, trying to run ads, trying to grow your Instagram followers. It can become a lot, except you have a number of people helping you out or funds to outsource and again hire people. Then you can do that. But the smaller your team, the less goals you should have when it comes to marketing. So really optimize your online presence by doing these basic things, but also focus on a few goals. My recommendation is 1 to 3 goals per quarter, and then that's all you do during that quarter. You refuse to be sidetracked by anything else. You just focus on those few goals you have. You break it down into what you need to do to achieve those goals. I'm a huge fan of the 12-week year principle to achieve goals, and I think I would include that as well in the bonus resources, so be sure to check that out. Like I knew, bonus resources. So yes, check that out for a list of all the resources that we're talking about, ways to take action on all those things we're saying, so that you don't just listen and be like, oh, that's good information. This would actually help you to pace yourself and give you next steps when you're done listening to this. So we've gone over FO, and now it's U's turn. U stands for use free promotional tools. There are so many ways to promote yourself for free online. And the reason why it's important to lean into the free first is that marketing can be expensive if you're hiring for everything and you're trying all the different methods at once. So before you invest, first try the free tools and let your investment be a way to scale what you're already doing with free tools. So some examples would be to promote yourself on social media platforms. Even social media itself is pretty broad. There's TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, and Clubhouse, and all the rest. You can't really be on every one of those. I'd say focus on, again, 1 to 2 of these platforms that you know your audience is on. If you know that you primarily serve people in their 50s, maybe you offer a at-home massage service to seniors, find platforms that they probably spend their time on, maybe like Facebook and maybe Instagram, not so much TikTok, not so much Pinterest, right? For instance, if you're a bridal makeup artist, Pinterest will be wonderful for that, because Pinterest is where people go when they're planning things in advance, like home buys, weddings, decorating, parties, things like that. So things that require a lot of planning require people to use Pinterest boards to kind of map out their ideas. And so marketing on a platform like that, focus on a platform like that for social media is important if you are in one of those lines. So the way to choose what platforms to spend your time on is to again understand your audience, which is why we started out with finding out who your audience is, getting specific about who they are, what they want, and what you do for them. At the moment, short form video is popping off. There's Reels, there is YouTube Shorts, TikTok content. So if you are able to have video incorporated into your content, it's a wonderful way to grow. It doesn't have to be fancy and have all the perfect lights. It can just be you showcasing how you do your work, getting a nice little tripod from a store locally or even online, and making sure that you're capturing little things. Sometimes you're not able to both do the work and create content at the same time. So maybe you're just capturing that content to use in the future. But it's important to use trends to grow your business. And at the moment, the trend is short form video. If you're not able to do that all by yourself, then maybe you could look into hiring an intern. It doesn't have to be a full-time intern. You can hire on project-based things. You can say, I'm looking to hire someone to work with me for a weekend to shoot 10 videos that we can use in our content, right? Maybe a weekend is too short, maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's 1 month. And the reason why projects are a great thing for small businesses is that it helps you to test out if you're fit with someone without committing for the long term, right? And so if it's successful, then you can renew that project and extend it for a longer time. But you don't have to do it all by yourself. If you can hire a local photographer, local videographer to help you out with your content, then do that, right? And if you don't have the bandwidth to do that, figure out a small way for you to experiment, whether it's like 1 video per week, an Instagram live that doesn't require as much preparation. And if you're not video savvy, then hire a little bit of help, whether it's family members that you can drag in to come support your business or not. There's lots of people that can help you use these free promotional tools to grow your business. Still under free promotional tools, there's 2 more points. When people come to your website or come to your social media, make sure that you're capturing their information somehow. How do you do this? You do this by asking for their email address, so that if somebody's on your website, it means that they're probably interested in working with you in the future, or at least they're interested enough to come see more about you, right? So you want to make sure that you're capturing that information so that you can go on and nurture them through emails later on. You can reach out to them when you have promotions. You can ensure that people are staying within your ecosystem once they show interest. If you have the bandwidth to blog, it can be a really helpful way to boost your SEO, which is your search engine optimization, because the more relevant content you share, the more relevant tutorials you share, more relevant things you share about your industry, about your service, about the problems that you solve for people, the more likely it is that you'll be found when people need you. And remember that in all of this, you want to use keywords that are strategic. If your workshop is about chocolate making, then you want to include those kinds of keywords: chocolate workshop, group activities to do with friends in Stratford, things that your ideal customers will be looking for when they come to you. So this requires a bit of FBI work to get into the heads of the people that you're serving. But all in all, there are free ways that you're able to grow your business. This next point, N, stands for nurturing your existing customers as well as your leads. I love this point so much. There's so much power in working with your existing customers, making sure that they're satisfied, even more than satisfied, that they're delighted with the services that you're offering. This is so important because people that have bought from you actually trust you enough to come back. They trust you already, which is why they bought from you. So they're the best people to become advocates for your brand, to help other people learn about you, to leave reviews, to share with a friend, because they've experienced the magic of what you offer. So don't stop marketing just because somebody has bought from you once. Keep them in your email sequence, get them to follow you online, give them a referral code to send new friends your way, and even incentivize the second purchase if you can. Another point under here is to lean into word of mouth marketing. Because people have already bought from you, they've experienced what it is that you offer. So you want to lean into asking for reviews and using these reviews in your marketing as well. How can you use reviews in your marketing? You can state that, you have 100 5-star reviews. You can show the actual reviews, what they say. And trust me, we, the customers, we like to see that other people have trusted you already with their purchase. And it inspires trust and instills confidence in us to buy from you again and again. Connecting with other local businesses is another powerful way to grow your business, because you're in a local community, especially if you have a physical store and people know you in your community. You don't have to do it alone. You can partner with other local businesses to offer joint discounts, joint deals, bundles and baskets that you create together. You can even join them on their own live stream to create a shared campaign, something that you do together. That way you're able to leverage each other's audiences, and instead of you only marketing your 100 and they to their own 100, you come together and you reach the 200. It's a really powerful way to collaborate. I like to say collaboration over competition. Use email marketing to nurture your leads. Whether it's a new person who hasn't bought from you or somebody who has bought from you before, keep in touch with people through email. It's not only for you to send deals and discounts, but even lovely things like, holiday notes, all the different festivities that we have over the year, you're able to send out a newsletter to wish them well. You're able to share about new updates in your store, great things that are happening when you move to a new location, even things like the way you got the inspiration for your latest creation, how it came to you, how you created it, the behind the scenes. You might not feel like this is important, but we're kind of nosy as human beings and we really like to see these things. And so it makes for good content in your newsletters to people. So keep in touch with people via email. And email is far more valuable than social media, because instead of borrowing the audience on social media, because social media belongs to Meta, Pinterest, and those people that control the algorithms, when you have an email, you have direct access to someone's inbox. It's a powerful tool, so make sure you use that power, but also don't send spammy emails, because that way is a quick way to get blocked from future email subscribers. I had this one quick example of using reviews in marketing. This is the brand called Andrayama. They're a swimsuit brand, and it's just showing how they have taken people's comments on Twitter and it's now content that they're showing on their social media. So essentially saying this is what other customers are saying about us. And it's a great way to say that real people are using your products or services. So lean into word of mouth marketing, even to promote new purchases. This is another screenshot of different ways people will take feedback that people have been giving them about their products, about their services, and then use it in future campaigns. Whether it's comments people leave on your post, DMs they send to you. If it's on a public platform, you can use it in your campaigns. If it's on a private DM, you can request permission, or you can anonymize it by blurring out their images before you use it. So D stands for double down on successes. When you've tried a couple different tactics, whether it's posting on social media, using video, whether it's collaborating with other local businesses, whether it's working with influencers, you want to take a moment to analyze whether it's working or not. Look at your data. You have tools on Facebook, on Instagram, on your website to see where people are coming from, to see what they're clicking on. This can help you understand what people need when they visit your website, based on where they're visiting, or on your social media. It can tell you what content is interesting to people, what is bringing in new followers, or what people have liked the most, commented on the most, saved the most. Even your comments can show you what people are asking about the most. Maybe it's not clear enough on your website. And so really analyze your data to see what is working. And when something is working, when you find that, oh, this format seems to be bringing in most people that come to the store are telling me that they found me via this reel, then double down on it. Sometimes you try something and it works once and you kind of like, oh, okay, that was a wonderful thing, and you never try it again. Why do we do that? I think it's because we're always seeking the next flashy thing. But take a moment in your business to review what is working and double down on those successes. Now, a moment for ads. We've spoken about a lot of organic methods to grow your business, and that's because for small businesses primarily, we don't have as many resources to invest in the beginning, or even generally because we're small. But ads can be one of the ways to grow your business rapidly, so far as you get it done strategically. Google Ads is wonderful because it has high search intent, meaning that when you go to Google, you're probably ready to buy something when you're searching there, right? And then Instagram and Facebook ads are quite good for discovery, meaning that it helps show you your product or your service to people that are similar to those that follow you already. So it helps them just plant that seed in their minds of your product. They may not be ready to purchase it yet. They follow people that follow you, and that means that they may be interested, they may be in your region, and you may be able to serve them. So depending on what your goals are, invest in ads. If you want to invest in ads, I suggest you take some time to just review the best practices that these platforms provide. Google Ads has, some blogs. Instagram ads and Meta ads have a few blogs as well that you can read to just understand what is going on there. And if you don't have that time, consider hiring a freelancer to work with you again on projects, because then you're able to test within a short time to see what is working. But ads can be a powerful way to scale whatever it is you're doing. One thing I know that I see on Instagram a lot is that when you have a post that's doing really well, it might suggest that you boost that post. If it makes sense for your business, then do that. For example, if you have an event coming up and lots of people are visiting your website because of a certain post you had, then that could be a good one to promote, because it means that people are already engaging with your content and new people might be interested in whatever you're offering already. So whenever you find some success, double down on what's working, but also leave a little bit of room to experiment with all of this. So as a reminder, there are a couple other things that are in this bonus resources section that allow you to get practical with all the tips we've shared today. My favorite tip that I actually want you to remember if you forget everything else is that there's so many things you could be doing online and it can feel overwhelming. So my advice to you is to focus on 1 to 3 goals that can really move the needle for your business. Don't try to do everything at once or it can feel too overwhelming. So find 1 or 2 things that stood out to you during this quick conversation today and double down on those for the next quarter. Really determine what you need to do to, if it's grow your audience, to do that. If it's to grow your email list, just focus on that and don't try to do every single thing at once. That's my favorite tip for you today. If you'd like to connect with me online, I'm on LinkedIn at Fope and Nkwocha, and I also am on Instagram at Small and Thriving. I share tips about growing your small business and managing your life as a small business owner. I also have a newsletter called Small Business Savvy that I share marketing tips on, and I'd love to have you on it. I'm looking forward to seeing your business growing and thriving online.